Well, and welcome to the EazySites walkthrough. So this is my first live event, so I'm probably going to ramble a little bit here and there, but yes, we will try and get better as we go on. So I just thought I'd get that out there at the moment. So yeah, it'd be good to have your feedback left in the comments as we go, and where I should improve, what topics we should cover, and anything that you're sort of struggling with that want help on, drop the ideas in the comments and we will build up momentum from there. So basically, EazySites is a quick and easy way for you to, as a solo creator, whether or not you're a solopreneur, an affiliate marketer, a consultant, coach, a SaaS founder or anything like that. Basically, we are technically a website builder, but we don't like to be classed as that. So we like to see ourselves as a publishing system. The idea behind it is pretty much launch your site in less than 60 minutes. We can make claims and say you can do it in a couple of minutes, but realistically, from sort of start to finish, you're looking at about an hour. There's no other sort of tech stack needed. There's no friction. Sure, we don't have everything perfect at the moment in terms of onboarding and flows and stuff like that. But, you shouldn't need to be jumping through multiple heaps and things like that. Just get on and start publishing. So the idea is for you to get your first blog up today, and it will help you walk through the steps and just get it launched. Nothing needs to be perfect. So you can always tweak and tinker later. So basically you launch your site, you register and connect a domain, then you define like your focus topic. So we've got, we limit you to sort of 6 content themes. So ideally you want sort of, 1 or 2 broad topics, and then you sort of niche down into the subtopics based on those sort of 1 or 2. So we've got posts and guides and all that stuff written around that. If there's any confusion, just let us know. So you lock them in, and is what your audience will care about, what you're good at talking about, what you're good at doing, what you're an expert in. So don't go too broad, stick to the focus, and you'll find that 1, you'll rank better with SEO. 2, your audience will come back to you for the specific topic. So yeah, there's no more wondering, when should I post? It's just, you get out there, you post, you start publishing, start getting content out there. No more cold feet. So then you set your publishing cadence. So whether or not you want to blog 3 times a week, send 1 newsletter a week or monthly or anything like that. So we will clarify what we define newsletter soon. So we don't want to mislead anyone at the moment in terms of us being an email system at the moment. We are planning to get to that stage, but we'll dig into that soon. So basically, this is where your content engine starts, and this is where you start building your moat around your business and actually start getting traction instead of trying to go for the viral, the hype, and all that sort of stuff. You're running a marathon and not a sprint, and pretty well proven that's when you become successful. So it's not going to happen overnight. But what happens is people start to get disheartened because they've been fed hype, this viral stuff, they've paid for a course, they expect, to see results straight away. But this is designed to make you consistent, make you accountable, and keep you going without feel like you're failing or you've stopped or anything like that. So for a lot of people, they get, 2-3 months into it and then they run out of ideas or they don't get the traction they thought they would. We're here to design to keep pushing past that. And that's where our whole engine comes into place. So this is it. You show up and you track it. So you can consistently create trust. So you're not creating content, you're creating trust through your content that you're creating. So only speak on the topics that you know about. Definitely use AI to help assist with your content. Don't use it to replace you entirely. So we have things built in that will help with that as well. So make every post actually count. And we will help you track your momentum, your highlights, your wins, sort of nudge you along when you're flipping. So yeah, you'll sort of see streak and score. The whole intent behind it, just like everyone on the internet, is basically to monetize. So we're saying monetize with purpose. So you're turning your content into leverage, and that's through consistently publishing, and that's to grow your list, either to launch your offer, convert readers into clients, and that will depend on what market you're in, whether or not you're affiliate marketing, whether it's consulting, coaching, a SaaS founder, building in the public. All of this drives to you trying to sell something at the end of the day, whether or not it's physical product, digital products, courses, content, downloads, consulting, anything like that. So it's all about saying, this is who we are, this is what we do, this is how we help, this is how we show that we're an expert in the field and we're not just a, sales letter landing page. So you can get started for free. You can build everything inside EazySites for free. All the features are there available. You just can't publish to your custom domain or publish on the subdomain, but you can set everything up, have a play around with it. There's no credit card required. You either like it, you don't like it. We're not here to twist your arm and convince you that it's the product for you. So yes, we are limited in certain things that we do. That's by design choice. We're very opinionated in the framework. So if you want full control, you're better off using WordPress. But if you really want to have that momentum, welcome to the community, the home, the group. And it's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent and meaningful. So the whole idea behind it is that more tools won't fix your consistency problem. It's always a system. So it doesn't matter what you do, where you go, what you look at, whether or not they're trying to sell you a Notion template, some fancy builder, how you got to tweak fonts and all this sort of stuff, hop in between, different platforms, Notion, Substack, Webflow, MailChimp and all that. We're trying to build that into one system that's not bloated, which is a challenge on its own, because what happens is basically you start to burn out, jump in between, you jot something down here, you jot something down there, you don't have this connected. Then you look at like Zapier, you're wondering, how do I connect Notion to Substack? And then how do I connect Webflow to Substack or MailChimp? And sure, there's integration processes, but sometimes it's straightforward, sometimes it's not. It's more products, more tools, more money. So you start to sort of burn out after a while, whether or not it's 5 posts, 10 posts, 20 posts or something like that. And basically, at the end of it, you don't generate any leads or any sales, so it demotivates you. So we're here to try and flip that on, help you get published within 60 minutes. You're not going to have a perfect site. You don't need a perfect site. No one cares as long as you can show that you're the expert. They're not going to care what your logo looks like, what font you're using. If your padding's not perfect between block sections and stuff like that. It's a problem I struggled with for a long time, which helped build all the system around me. So you write inside the structured cadence, so you stick to the topics of focus, your 6 topics that you talk about, you weekly publishing, bi-weekly, monthly, or whatever it may be. So you can publish more, stress less, you actually start to earn money and not just build or learn. So a lot of people get stuck in the mindset of just, okay, I'm going to watch YouTube. How do I do WordPress? So you start setting up WordPress, then you got to watch another video. Like, how do I set up hosting on SiteGround? How do I set up my DNS records? How do I set up this SEO plugin? How do I use Elementor? How do I do this and do that? How do I connect this? And there's a lot of plugins out there, but the more you sort of add to it, the more complicated it comes. You got the free ones, then you're kind of like, oh, I'm going to pay for the premium version. Then all of a sudden, what you actually find is that WordPress is costing you more than something like EazySites. And there's obviously cheaper alternatives out there as well, like Card. That's very good for a single landing page. So if you're just looking for a very straightforward single landing page, definitely recommend using them over others. But if you're looking to actually monetize and build an audience, we're probably more suited towards that. So this is kind of the systems, if you blog, you aim to do 9 blog posts in the first 30 days, get 4 newsletters out in that month, so 1 a week. You find your niche that clicks and sticks. You create your first offer when you're when you're ready to go live, and then you've got the streak and the system. You definitely won't like EazySite if you want total design freedom. We're very restricted. We do follow sort of, best practices and design principles, very minimalistic in one aspect. So we do constrain what you do for a particular reason, because you don't need to overthink about what you're doing. You just need something that looks uniform, clean, nice, presentable, easy to read. Sort of building multiple projects at once. Sure, you can argue you can do it with inside EazySites. We don't limit how many websites you do build with us, because you can do it for particular clients and stuff like that. But if you're doing it for clients, it's about really reinforcing the framework to them and giving them a platform to do it on and educate them on that. But if you're just a solo creator, you should have 6, 7, 8, 9 different side projects on the go. Just focus really on one. Once you've built that one, then start moving and focusing on the second one. If you really love planning content, we're all about, it doesn't need to be perfect, just push it out there. You can go back, fix your mistakes later, make it evergreen. If you wrote about a topic and you were found to be wrong, go back, edit that, but edit in a way where you show where you were wrong and where you've changed your mind, and that builds a lot more trust. The issue with, content online, there's not enough of that. Or if you were in marketing or SEO and things change because of AI or anything like that, just think of your content. It's evergreen, it's digital, it's never set in concrete. You can change it, you can edit it. So it's all about publishing, refine it later if you need to. If you want to change your niche weekly, there's no point doing that. Just stick focused. So I think you need more tools to be more successful. We replace a lot of tools in one aspect because you don't need those tools to start with. So sure, you're not going to have the features of some of those tools, but you'll start to understand that you didn't actually need or be dependent on those tools themselves. And you measure your progress sort of pixels and not press. So you're really proud of your website as I suppose actually achieving something by creating content on it. All you've done is made a pretty homepage. Or if you want to go viral, sure, you can accidentally go viral. If your business model's about trying to be the next viral post to get that audience and attention, it's going to be a very short-lived dream. So publishing takes discipline. So that's, again, going back to the 6 themes, the daily blog post, try to reinforce that everywhere we go. And then, we just really want to help you launch and stay consistent. And you can read all about our philosophy over here. So this takes you to our sort of public handbook, which is a lot about why do we exist? What about our name? It goes on to it's misspelled. We know it is. It was a quick decision. It made sense. People aren't going to question it. If we create a brand around it, it's like saying, what's Google? What's Amazon? It doesn't make sense until it does. So don't overthink about things. If you're doing it as a personal branding, just try to get your name. If it's got to have a dash in it, or it's a .me or a .co.uk or something like that, just get it. You can always change it later if you need to. It's not going to affect your SEO. There's ways to map things out these days. So we've got plenty of resources. Documenting your platform. We've got some guides around sort of things. Definitely need to improve these as we go. Same as our blog posts, they're getting better at doing our own blog posts. It's been very busy to get the product up and running. So it's sometimes hard to practice what you preach, but we will be moving forward better with that. The same with our newsletters. So you can check out the different features that we have here. We're definitely going to improve these pages as well. And then just quickly before we do wrap up this one is the pricing. So basically our pricing model, you got the free forever one. So we charge $29 a month flat for everything in the core product. So that will give you everything, the custom domain, everything that you need to publish, to create newsletters, the AI tool. There'll be limits to the credit that you have. You'll be able to capture your leads with basic forms, and anything that we add to the product that is the core foundation of the feature is included in this $29 a month. It's not until you start growing. So for example, this one here is still actually a placeholder at the moment, but once we release the newsletter thing, this would be like your email out, capturing and monetizing your audience, paywalls and things like that. So that's only when you start paying for that as an add-on, but you'll always just pay $29 a month for the base of the product here. So any questions around any of that, we've got our own built-in community. You can ask questions to me, you can talk to us on chat. So we got the chat widget down the bottom here. You can email us, anything like that. I would love to get your feedback. So this is the first video that I've done just as a basic walkthrough of what EazySite is from the actual marketing side itself. And then the next one, what we'll do is we'll actually jump into the product and walk through that. So we'll catch you on the next one.